Hey guys, it's me, James. I just want to make a really quick video, really quick, about the whole Matt Chandler scandal thing, because I think it's really interesting. And then next week, guys, I'll have a big video announcement where the YouTube channel is going. I know I haven't posted in a while because I'm just making a lot of big changes, just a lot of stuff going on. Y'all see later. But one of the arguments I've been seeing is that when it came to that Matt Chandler inappropriate texting thing where he's texting some woman who's not his wife, his elders say, he's not texting sexually, essentially. I don't know. I think probably was he texting like maybe rude jokes, texting too much. That's what I kind of was alluding to. Is there several things. One, I think a lot of people are happy this happened. And there's a segment of the Christian population that's extremely happy. Now, of course, we know there's two sections I think they're actually really happy. There's those who aren't Christian, call him things like he's a groomer because he met his wife when she was a camp student and he was like a camp pastor, which I don't, gosh, do we just call everything grooming? Just from the information they've given us, that doesn't sound like what that is. But clearly, that's the only option there. I don't know. That seems kind of dumb. But that he's just, he's a mean guy who's super powerful. And so, of course, it's all his fault. We don't know who started the messaging. We don't know what it was like, which I don't think they should release it because then that breaks the privacy of whoever this person is. Or maybe they should. Maybe there would be a way to do that. I don't know. Maybe they've had that discussion. But, oh my gosh, man, it's just so ridiculous. That part's silly to me, where he's either a groomer or there's a power dynamic thing. Clearly, though, Matt Chandler must be the problem 100% when we just don't have enough information on it. If more things come out, then we can make a conclusion, but there's just not enough information coming out. This is much different than maybe a Ravi Zacharias or Carl Lentz, where there's just tons of information flowing right off the back, and there's information flowing really before then that people are saying things like this. I haven't heard things like that about Matt Chandler. The other part is the very theologically, like, more Calvinist, but they would say the real conservative part of the Christian church. People who probably listen to people like Doug Wilson, even though I don't think Doug Wilson said anything about it. It's just an example. Where they're super stoked, I think, on this because Matt Chandler's gone so woke, supposedly, that this is just the thing that happens. Like, you see this argument when your theology is bad, then probably the rest of your life is bad, which is so weird because there's a lot of people with good theology who do terrible things. That's a stupid argument. But the worst argument of all is that somehow because he's gone woke and the woke people have left him because he was trying to cater to liberals. I don't know any liberal who really knows who Matt Chandler is. I know people who are liberal, atheist, progressive, whatever you want to call them, and they're not listening to a mega church pastor in Dallas who doesn't believe in gay marriage, who said things how pro-gun he is, who votes conservative and has said he has on stage just in the last year. These are things that Matt Chandler, who's made fun of, not made fun of, but has some pretty strong critiques on the deconstruction movement. I think he did a whole series. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But this guy isn't a liberal. When they mean he's woke, they simply mean that he believes in systemic racism. And while there's different kind of like views on what systemic racism is, I think the best thing that kind of like what I think Matt Chandler is saying from what he says is that, yeah, I think racism from the past still affects people today and has had a negative impact on certain communities. He's not saying CRT. He believes that white privilege is real. I'm a Christian. I think white privilege is real. I think in many cases, sometimes white people are viewed different than black Americans. From my own experience, just going to a store or being like pulled over from the police, and then I'm being the only person questioned while all my white friends are nothing's happening. I'm getting patted down, unless I just look like a criminal. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. I think that's really silly. I think that's really dumb. One, Matt Chandler isn't woke. Two, you guys are taking that statement to say, I just don't agree with this person politically. So that means they must be a super liberal or a Marxist or something. That's really dumb. That's really stupid. I don't know if there's no other argument besides that's a stupid thing. There are Christians who actually do probably think CRT is real, which I know people have beat that up to like the dead horse dead until it can't even be resurrected at this point. It's a very dead horse. But that was a really bad Christian joke, and it makes sense. But that's just silly to me. I mean, I'm not even making a point. It's just a rant that stop calling things woke because you don't like them or because you don't agree with someone's view on racism. So many of you are so anti-woke that even if a black person brings up their experience of racism, you will be like, no, that can't be true. I honestly believe this. I'm sorry. I think there's people who will do anything to deny that racism is real, that a guy could come up in a KKK mask, call me the N-word, and they'll still be like, I think you're just being a little too woke right now. Now, that might be is it an exaggeration, though? I don't know. But my main point is, Matt Chandler's political ideology, whatever it is, which is mostly conservative, doesn't have anything to do with how he treated his wife or why he's texting this woman, because people of all theological stances have done stuff like this. And as conservative as he is, then it'd be real. What if I just made the argument that because Matt Chandler doesn't believe deconstruction's real and votes guns, this is why he did this and text a woman? Many of you would be like, James, that's outrageous. Exactly.